Welcome to the Everything Yachting YouTube channel. Our goal is to help yacht buyers, yacht owners, and yacht sellers through interesting, educational, and informative discussions on topics that are anything and everything yachting related.
Thanks for joining us today, Anna and Jeff. We're going to call this Everything Yachting because nothing's off the table, all right? We want to talk about your experiences in boating. We want to talk about your experiences in boating, my experiences, wherever the conversation takes us. But for everybody that's just joining us, we've been at sea all day today. We anchored out. Jeff cooked us a marvelous lunch with Anna's help. We had a really good time. We did some drone footage up in the air. We flew a drone around. We went fast. We went 25 knots. We cruised a lot at 8 knots. So we had a great lunch anchored out, and it's really been a great day. We even spent some time doing some dockside. How do you guys work together? Headsets on, wireless docking, remote, and all those types of things that add value to the vessel. But let me ask this: your boating history. How did you get started? What was the first time you went boating? What was the first time that you went boating? And whoever wants to go first, I'd like to hear how that boating hook was set and your passion for it. Where did it start?
Do you remember the first time I took you boating?
Catalina.
Well, it was the second time.
Where was the first time?
In San Diego, when we took the Erickson out.
We did. We took friends with us. It was Jeff and I and his best friend and his wife then. And yeah, that was a while ago. I just remember the deal was after Jeff and I got married, we were living in Kansas. He told me that if I went to San Francisco and took boating lessons or sailing lessons, he would take me on a really great honeymoon. So I said, sure. So we got married in February, freezing in Kansas, and went to San Francisco and went boating for 3 days. We went sailing.
And where did I take you on that
underneath
sailing?
the Golden Gate Bridge.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
It was very cool, but it was cold, cold. So then in May of that year, we ended up in the British Virgin Islands on a sailboat, 38 feet, right?
Yeah, it's 41, but close enough.
See?
Yeah.
Close
Yeah.
enough.
Close enough.
And we went all through the British Virgin Islands, and it was fabulous. And I remember we got married in Kansas. It was like day 7, and we were 2 days from going back home. We got to Cane Garden Bay, which is beautiful. We cruise in, we anchor, and Jeff said, one day we're going to live here. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? And we got there and spent our 10-year anniversary in Cane Garden Bay. And so St. Thomas has been home for 25 years. And we've just been boating through those waters for the past,
30 years.
Yeah.
1990 was the first time we went sailing in the Caribbean.
And then we would take friends and we would take sailboats. And then we would took a sailing cat. And then Jeff made the mistake of putting me on a power cat. And that was it. Sailing days were over. Because no one wanted to work the sails, especially Anna. So we would do rental boats from the BVI and go down for a week at a time. And every time we left, Jeff was like, so sad. So we ended up moving to St. Thomas in 98, and that has been home for a while. I mean, since then. So we love the waters, and we love boating.
What is it? What was it that hooked you about being on a boat, and what was it that hooked you?
Well, so I work a lot, or did then, and we were building our restaurant company. So I worked every day, or I'd work 30, 40, 50 days in a row to know that I could take a week off. And this is before the internet, whatever, Al Gore, whoever invented the damn thing, right? This is way before that. This is, fax machines days. And when phones were, like this big. So we'd work every day at the restaurant and we'd go boating. You didn't have a phone. You didn't have internet. Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, you didn't have any of that. So I could get out on the boat and completely unplug. So I didn't mind working 30, 40, 60 days in a row because I knew I was getting 10 days off. Nobody could get at me. My partner would hold down the fort, and it would totally revive my juices. I'd go back and, another 45, another 50 days.
It was your way to recharge your battery.
Totally.
And for the past 15 years I've been in the industry, I see that for a lot of successful people as their answer. I will go to work and I will sun up to sundown. And when I get my siesta, it's on a boat, because nothing makes me happier and nothing makes me feel better about going back to what I just came from.
Correct.
For whatever reason those are. And how about yourself, Anna? Was it similar, different? What was the hook for you?
Correct. It was just the relaxing, and part of it was Jeff relaxing, just being able to see him wind down. And that still happens on the boat these days. It takes us a little bit longer because internet is so easy to get and phone service is so easy to get. But it does take him a few days. But then, correct, we go back to that where it's just relaxing and enjoying the boat and each other on it or people on it. We invite people often. Scheduling is always the ticket. You know, lots of people aren't able to take time off like we are when we do take time off.
And I think it's worked well for us as a couple, because Anna is still active flight crew. So Anna's flying around the globe with American Airlines, and right in a metal tube packed with people. And we all read TV or see TV and read the stories and some crazy travelers. So Anna welcomes being on the boat with just us, nobody around. So she doesn't give herself enough credit, but she too enjoys it because she unplugs. Right. She'll work 20 days in a row.
Exactly what we call it. We unplug.
We do.
That's what the boat's about. Get some sand between your toes and unplug the system.
Yeah, totally.
For us, internet, Jeff checks his work. The first few days we're out, and then the internet really is about music for us. We use cell phones so often, but after a few days, then correct, we unplug and it's good.
And I think you were one of the first clients that put the full Sonos package on their boat. And I will tell you, I am a proud owner of a full Sonos system now at my house, and I love it. So thank you for introducing that to me through MBI.
Well, I think it went backwards. I think we had it at our home, and Jeff said to MBI, put it on the boat. They're like, what are you talking about? But
I love it.
We love it.
It's awesome.
I love it.
It's awesome.
And
so
easy.
In your boating history, you were sailboaters for a while. Did you ever own the sailboat? Did you ever, the two of you run it by yourselves, or were you always part of a bigger group, or how'd that go down?
Our sailboats were competitive race boats.
They were. They are.
It was too intense for Anna. Right? Because it was a lot of fun. We did a tremendous amount of competitive sailboat racing, domestically and internationally. Yeah, on everything from 30-footers to 100-footers. And
you said you won that at one of those events. That's pretty cool.
We won the Rolex. We won the Rolex 3 times.
I have not done that.
Down in the BVI. And they give you a Rolex.
Wow. That's
so cool. A lot of fun. Just loads of fun.
Too intense, though.
So how did the powerboat reduce your workload? Because if I didn't speak for Jeff here or didn't know you guys that well, it seemed like Jeff might still be sailing today if it wasn't for you pulling him off the sailboat into our world, right? So what was it that the powerboat, when you rented that catamaran, what was so drastically different? But don't use the word work, but explain what it is. Because somebody watching here may have never sailed, may have never been on a powerboat, but is about to sell their business in Kansas for whatever, and they want to go do this. So why would they go sailing? Why would they go powerboating, in your words, to benefit?
You say don't work. I thought the sailing was a little more physical. When we did it, you truly had to pull the sail up and bring the sail down, inflate the sail.
Crank it?
Yep. Right. And so unless I wanted to drive, I was, with help of others, crew. And when it was just Jeff and I, Jeff would drive and I was crew. So when he rented the Power Cat, my job was over. So
workload went down drastically.
It did.
It's the same boat without the stick in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It comes down the same production line, right?
And it was great because the cat had plenty of room. I mean, it had tons of room.
So when you left the dock, right, did you go marina to marina to marina, so you had to worry about tying up? Or was it pretty much Jeff going to mooring balls, anchoring out, so you kind of just had fun the whole time? Well, explain to me what you guys did.
I think with the Power Cats that we rented in the BVI, it was always more
We only went to
involved.
2 marinas, and one of them is Bitter End Yacht Club.
Love that place.
Which is beautiful.
Because if you've never been, it's the Bitter End Yacht Club.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And the other place is Scrub Island. And the only reason we go to Scrub Island is because the water slide and the adult drinks going down the water slide, right? It's a lumpy marina. I'm just telling you,
It
man.
is a horribly lumpy
If the
marina.
wind shifts, it's a lumpy marina,
Right.
right? But the water slide
Well, it's the
and
adult
the adult
beverages.
and the adult beverages,
They-
right?
Yeah. It's
But
adult beverages.
Children,
That's
children,
why.
please.
But outside of those two places, it's all mooring balls or anchoring.
Right.
Correct.
So power boating made it easier, probably also because you can go from point A to point B, right?
It didn't depend on the wind.
One person pretty much had the responsibility and everybody else could kind of just party on. So I understand the benefits fully, and I thank you for explaining it, to people here that maybe haven't gone boating before. So you worked from sailboats, and your first ownership experience, what was it? No, let's not be specific on brands. Let's just talk footage, right? In generalities.
We
But
were
what was it?
partners in a 31-foot.
Say cheese.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
you
the
had a
name of our boat. Say cheese.
31 footer,
Yep.
dual engine, single engine, inboard, outboard.
It was dual inboard Merc cruisers.
Okay, all right. And single cabin, dual cabin. How big was the accommodations?
It didn't really. It had a V berth, right? But it wasn't suitable.
Right.
It was a day boat.
One thing I heard you say about this boat, to Time Warp, is you love it because you can show up with a backpack and everything's already here.
Correct.
How was that on that 31 footer? Did you always have to sneak your stuff there, or could you generally show up and everything?
No, we
No.
were a Sherpa,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to bring, right? Because limited refrigeration, there's no ice maker.
Right.
So
You loved it enough to want to stay longer than what that could provide for you with comfort.
well, on the 31, if we were going to stay overnight, we went to hotels, right? Go back to the Bitter Inn,
Mm-hmm.
get a room, or go back to Sabre Rock way back when, or Nanny Key.
Mm-hmm.
But you were
And we-
still a Sherpa. You took your stuff to the boat, used the boat, took your stuff off the boat to the hotel, packed again to come back. And although, I hear what I'm saying, but after a while, you're just like, really? Dang. So,
But going back though, sorry to interrupt. Going
Mm-hmm.
back though, right? Because this is dating us. This is 25 years ago. I still thought that I had the best life going, man.
well,
I
we
had this
did.
31-foot boat, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what I didn't know yet about this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we were maturing in our marriage, we were maturing in our relationship, maturing in our boating, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we still loved it. So that progression then took us to the 43.
And what did that 43 have? Because I heard from Jeff earlier. I'd like to hear from you. What did that 43 have that made it worth the jump? Because bigger, scarier for a lot of people, and I've heard you say that to me over the years. So I'm sure you were scared that day going from one boat to
Did
the
Jeff
next.
tell you I cried?
No, he didn't say that at all. But did that happen?
All right, I cried because she was too big.
She was
I hear
too
what I'm
big.
saying,
She was too
but
big.
she was too big. But
We got on board the 43 and we were looking at it.
But Jeff bought her anyway.
And Anna's demeanor changed right away. And I said, what's going on? And she started crying. I don't mean to be laughing. She started crying.
I
said,
said,
what's going on here? This boat's too
Too
big.
big.
Mhm.
I don't want this boat.
but Jeff bought her anyway. She was
So-
great.
Oh, I think I took Anna out to lunch or something. Right? Food fixes a lot of things
It's-
in our relationship. And we bought that 43. But to answer your question, so now I had air conditioning in the cabin.
Big improvement.
And a cabin that we could sleep in
And
for a
I
little
had
bit.
a bed in the V berth
Yeah.
that we could sleep in. We could take a shower.
So you went from camping to glamping a little bit,
Correct.
right? So
Correct.
how long were you comfortable glamping on that boat?
So Jeff bought the 45.
Well, how long was that?
Couple of years.
I was going to say a year and a half.
Yeah.
She was brand new and she was great. Same thing. She was great.
But when I ask how long, I mean, you could go for a Friday and come back on Monday, or
yeah, that's about it because of water and just refrigeration and just, towels and bathing suits and laundry. Just by then, everything was either gone or used. It needed to be
Right. Hit the reset button.
Yeah, right.
refreshed, clean, and renewed.
Right.
So
Totally
Yeah.
get it. All right.
Yeah.
So then you jumped up in size, and how much did that extend your staying power? Meaning that Friday to Monday could now be a Thursday to Tuesday, or a week or 2 weeks.
Well, the desire was there
Mm-hmm.
to stay longer. But I got tired of sleeping in the V berth. And I got tired of sleeping on a small bed. I love the boat. It's not negative about the boat, about the size, about anything. As we kept wanting to spend more time on the boat, our boat performed great. It was tons of fun. We were out boating for that same genre. I would unplug. I wouldn't be at work. I would go boating. But now, as time progressed, I wanted a little bit bigger bed, right? I wanted more water.
Some downsides in V-berth sleeping to you, besides the size of the bed. Let's just pretend a competitor to this boat advertised that you want to sleep in the VIP because it's the best place to sleep. And your rebuttal was, I need a king-size bed. And they said, we can put a king-size bed. So what else is there? Why else wouldn't you want to sleep?
Well, knowing that we spend a lot of time on the hook or on a mooring ball, it's noisy.
It's loud.
Right? Now, definitely on an anchor, even with the bridle, as the wind's moving in the boat, ka-gung, 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 right? With the anchor chain. Mooring ball, not so much. But, I am way past the romantic stage of wave slap on the bow. Right?
You're loud.
Whatever, man. I don't know. Well, what's romantic about that?
Maybe you wake up again and
so
do whatever newlyweds do if that's the romantic side.
Right. Come on. So, but I loved that boat. We had tons of fun on that boat. We had tons of memories on that boat. Right.
Just not a lot of good night's sleep. Sleep,
right.
Just not great night sleep.
Right.
And so I wanted to stay out longer.
Okay.
I wanted to stay out longer. I love, so when we moved to this boat, I love I have a bigger water tank. I love that I have a water maker. You know what? Did you ever think you'd love a freaking washer and dryer on your boat? Come on, right?
And every Marlow you've had has
had a washer.
A full-size washer dryer.
Right.
Just like at your home.
And a king-size bed.
Just like at my house. Right? So I use the same sheets, the same pillows, the same towels, right? That's comfortable.
And you're a cook. And we talked a lot about cooking on your first boat, right? Was there anything that was compromised from galley to galley for you to be able to use these boats
on my first boat or my first Marlow?
Your first Marlows. Because now I'm kind of, I think we've moved from boating history. I understand why you moved from a 43 to what we have, but we haven't explained it to anybody else yet.
Yeah.
Right? So I know your passion's cooking. I know you want washer dryer. Well, we've got that. You want king size bed.
I didn't want it till I had it. And then now I have it. I can't not have it. It's your guys' fault.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was like, washer dryer, are you kidding me? And now I'm like, oh my God, don't take it. Are you kidding me? It's, I mean, it's great. And like Jeff said, the water maker is huge. Water that we can drink, ice that we make, and then water that we can make and not have to worry about going in to get to a marina to get water. And it's nice to be out.
So you've been in the Marlow family for about 10 years now. Okay, since the first time I met you and you ordered your first boat till now.
Yeah.
You've not slept in the VIP since, right? You've had an aft master.
No, not true.
Oh, you did on some trips.
Not true. Well, and even on this boat, I have slept in every bed on this boat.
Has he been a bad boy? You kicking him out here?
No, I did. He thinks it's a great idea. And then he gets halfway through the night. Move over, Anna. I put myself right in the middle and think this isn't going to last, and it doesn't.
No, I'm a consummate host, and she's a consummate hostess, without a doubt. Right. I want to make sure my friends and guests are comfortable. So I've slept in the VIP. Right? I've slept in the bunk room. It's comfortable, man. Air conditioning kicks butt.
It does.
Right? It's comfortable. It's dark as a cave. Right?
That is the room. Dark.
You told me your reasons. I was totally joking here, but I knew you wanted to try every single one because you wanted to know the experience.
Yeah.
You wanted to be able to. You started out your relationship here as a regular retail customer through boat 1, 2, and as we worked into boat 3, you decided you wanted to join the team, right?
Correct.
So I understand why you've now since gone and wanted to represent this brand with the most knowledge you could by actually using every square inch of it and sleeping in a berth and sleeping in a bunk and sleeping in the VIP. So I appreciate that. And it's great to hear that you were happy in all the locations you tried thus far.
Absolutely.
That's what we've talked about before.
Yeah,
anyway.
for sure. It's comfortable. There's room for everybody.
That has also allowed us, and I'm sorry to interrupt, this next boat, just truly making each room for sleeping as big as possible. Like the bunk we have, the up and down bunk. I mean, we've made the table smaller because all you need is a plug-in for your phone and a bottle of water. If you get that much more room on a bed, we feel that's important.
Yeah.
So that has helped us with your
smaller nightstand.
Your guys' stuff. Yeah, small. That's why.
Smaller nightstand, bigger bed.
Correct.
And I say that because we only boat with adults. Anna and I have been together 35 years, no kids, no pets, right? In lieu of, right? No, nothing. So.
Not no nothing.
Well, you know.
In lieu of the stuff most people have.
Well, right.
Kids and dogs.
The stuff that people have chosen to have that we have not.
We have brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and all that. And we both come from relatively large families. But we haven't had children, and we go boating with our adult friends. So I didn't think about, you know, where's the little kid going to sleep? Where's my adult friend, my size, going to sleep in a comfortable bedroom, in a shower that the guy or gal can take a shower or shave her legs and stand up and have fun.
Right.
That's kind of how we designed that.
So you've had a 49, a 53, and now a 58.
Correct.
Yes.
What's been your favorite and why?
Every one.
Okay.
Every one.
In incremental phases.
Yeah, because the first one was exciting, leaving our other brand and leaving the other size, because we got beam, we got room to stretch out. And, you know, so then you were either kind enough or sneaky enough to then show me the 53, whatever way.
I just help people get what they want. It's not my fault you wanted it.
So, yeah. Okay. Pull my finger away.
Exactly.
and so we got the 53.
And it was great.
And it was great.
It was great.
Not that the other one wasn't, right? It was great. And we covered a lot of ground, and the 49 was the shortest lived Marlow we had.
She was.
Because when we saw the 53, we got that just because of the elbow room, if you will. And we had that.
That was the reason for
2.5, 3 years.
2.5 years.
Right?
Yeah.
And spent a tremendous amount of time on that boat. I told you that story. We went to the Bahamas for almost 2 months. 2 months on that boat. And the only time we had to reprovision was for produce. Because between the refrigeration, between the freezers, between the water maker, the ice maker, we didn't need anything other than produce. I baked my own darn bread, right? So
home was where you were because you could bring it with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I told you this, we were in the Bahamas for almost 2 months, and we had to go. Well, I felt compelled to go back to work, or Anna had to go fly.
I had to fly, yeah.
And we're leaving, and she says, do we have to go back? Can't we stay? We've been there for 2 months.
Yeah.
So
we have to go back.
It was refreshing. It was fun.
And I would have never thought I would have said that. If you'd have told me 10 years ago, I would say, you know, after 60 days on the boat, in the water, in the Bahamas, that I would not want to go home. It would have been surprising. I would have thought you're not talking about me. But the comfort of the boat and our guests, they were comfortable too. So that makes you comfortable. But like we have said, between the water maker, the washer and dryer, the comfort of the boat, and the space for people to find their own niche.
Excellent cook on board.
Excellent cook on board.
I know. I had lunch today. It was amazing.
You did.
Were any of your 3 Marlows to date 0 speed stabilized?
No. Anna doesn't know what that is. The answer is no.
Washer and dryer.
Well, I asked the question because if you spent 60 days at anchor and you had a great time and didn't want to come home.
We were on a mooring ball. Is that the same?
Yeah. You were not touching land and you're not sitting on the hard, right?
We were not.
So you were comfortable with how the boat rocked and rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember much rocking and rolling, you know, where we were pretty, not enclosed, but the mooring ball was pretty,
it's a very stable platform.
Correct.
Is what you're asking. And wouldn't you agree that you've been comfortable on just about all the conditions?
I have.
And to her benefit, 0 speed or the naiads.
She hasn't been pushing you for more stability while you're not moving.
Correct.
Because she
she's
doesn't.
comfortable.
Obviously, we haven't talked about it.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Yeah.
Is your
I
next
know
boat?
Naiad because we've had them.
Correct.
I don't know exactly what they do, but Jeff was like, do we want these? I'm like, okay, yeah.
Is your next boat going to be 0-speed stabilized?
Nope.
Okay.
We've looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Good product.
As somebody who anchors out as much as you do, right? Shocked that you're not.
I'm shocked too.
I'm shocked that you're not going, oh my God, I need it.
Oh, I don't.
I think part of that pedigree comes from all the time on the sailboat.
Mm-hmm.
For starters, much narrower beam, and you're just kind of moving around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
because there's no concrete foundation, there's water under it. And then
Correct.
the stability of the boat is what's going to provide it from either being one that does rock a lot or one that doesn't rock a lot. And if you've done any research on Marlows, we're known for being a stable boat.
Correct.
So therefore you don't need to maybe spend that extra $100,000 on 0-speed fins if you are comfortable at where you're going by picking proper anchorages, you know, in a nice, safe and secure location where you don't need to have that extra stability control.
I just repurposed those dollars
Mm-hmm.
in something else that I thought were more important to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We still spent them,
Mm-hmm.
but spent them on other things that were important to us. So,
Well, that's awesome.
and here's the other big thing about this. Yes, it's boating. Yes, this is an ocean-going vessel. Yes, this vessel can take you where we or, you know, the clients or the new owners dream or desire to go. But it's pleasure boating, right? People have asked me, "Oh, how's your boat doing 10-foot waves?"
We don't know.
I don't know. What do you mean, man?
She doesn't know. He doesn't know.
It's
I
pleasure
literally don't.
boating.
We don't go when there's
We don't-
10-foot
Yes.
seas, right?
We don't go.
Well, either your schedule and time allow or the speed of your vessel allow you not to be in that situation. And
Well, but here's the other beauty of it. I think there's a misconception when people buy a boat. See, nobody ever goes to the airport or to the tarmac and just sits on their plane in the hangar.
Mhm.
It's not any fun. I'm just going to sit on my plane, right? We have gone to the marina before the boat was behind our house through our pedigree of different boats. And we've gone to the marina and spent 3 or 4 days in the marina and never left. We still had a great time.
Mhm.
We were on our boat. We're putzing around. Right? Got internet. Got great music. I'm cooking. I'm having fun.
Mhm.
Right? I don't have to turn the engines on and go all the time to say I'm enjoying my product. And so our early boat, all the way back to the 31, 10 o'clock was boat call, Sunday morning. 10 o'clock was boat call. And we got to the boat at 10 o'clock. It doesn't matter if it was raining or lousy or whatnot. So we got to the boat, and if the weather was lousy, we just hung out at the boat, ate our lunch, had fun. Right? If the weather broke, maybe we only went over to Christmas Cove, right? And ate our lunch at Christmas Cove. But 10 o'clock was boat call Sunday morning. And that comes back from sailboat racing too, right? You don't go to the yacht club and say, oh, the wind's blowing. We're not going to go sailing today, right? We're going boating.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing with this. Let's go. So if the weather is lousy, we're already here. Let's enjoy the boat. Turn on the music. Let's have some fun, right? And you putz around, right? Whatever you do, you putz around
Mhm.
and have fun and enjoy the boat. And so for us, we do not have to be underway nonstop to say, boy, isn't this fun? No, sitting on this luxurious boat with the creature comforts is a lot of fun.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
We had a great time anchored out today. We
We
weren't
did.
moving.
Right.
No, it was great.
We did.
Right.
It was great. Delicious food, great company. We were comfortable, plenty of room.
Correct.
You know, it was really.
I
a-
love
a
days when I
treat.
come home from working and if I don't have to leave the house for 24, I'm happy. If I don't have to leave the house for 48, I'm ecstatic.
Mhm.
And same thing on this boat. We plan days and, I love to be on the boat. Jeff loves boating.
Mhm.
So we'll plan trips and he's like, we'll go from here to here to here. And I'm like, I need 2 nights somewhere. He's
Mhm.
like, really? It just so then you wake up and you've got, your coffee. Jeff will make food. There's water. I have a book. Jeff will putz. We'll both putz. But Again,
You're
Talked
home.
about the Bitter End Yacht Club,
It's
right?
where-
We go to the Bitter End Yacht Club and not leave for a week,
Mhm.
right? So now we're here on the west coast of Florida. Go to the Field Club.
Oh my
They
God.
have got a killer pool,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the marina's only this big, but we'd go to the Field Club,
There's beautiful
stay 3 or 4
scenery.
days, right? Go swimming.
And know that you come back to the boat as your home.
Correct.
Just so comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All your stuff's there.
All our stuff is there, plus a
St.
washer
Pete.
dock.
Holy cow. Go to St. Pete. You spend a week in St. Pete and the boat doesn't move because you're...
That's a tough one for Jeff because he loves to cook, and there's so many good
So many good restaurants in St. Pete.
Yeah.
The kid is like, "Where are you, Jeff?" We're like, "St. Pete."
And it's
like, "Oh,
literally
damn."
a 5-minute walk to the enter of
Someplace.
Disneyland, right? So we use this as home base, and it's fun.
So where you guys have pinned some exotic locations already, where you're building a little bit more of a expedition go anywhere boat on your next one with everything fully enclosed upstairs. So
We are.
either it can be cooler, hotter outside, or rougher, and you're still going to be comfortable because you've got weather and climate control and a big box around you. So where are some dream destinations that you haven't been that you want to take your next Marlow to?
The owners of, when we sold one of our boats, the owners took her to New York, and they sent us a picture of the Statue of Liberty. And so all of the East Coast is a dream. I mean, we don't have the time to do it right now, but they sent us that picture, and we thought that was cool.
When are you going to make the time? Is it your schedule or his schedule currently that's holding you down from seeing the Statue of Liberty?
I think it's both right now.
Anna and I are, we're lucky, we're fortunate, right? And that's a whole nother topic, but we're just kind of wired that, right, from our upbringing and what you're supposed to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to work.
What if work was putting a couple Northeast boat shows on your calendar, and we bring your new boat to a boat show, so that at least you got an excuse to go?
Well, like I said,
Dude, I love Newport, Rhode Island, and we have had so much.
We were
This goes back to the sailing days.
Mm-hmm.
Newport Yacht Club. We didn't win all the races, but I can tell you what, we won almost every damn party in Newport at the yacht club, right?
Sign me up
Actually.
as crew. Let's do this. It sounds like
but with
fun.
that being said, then like I said, we love where we live. We've lived in St. Thomas for years, and we have been as far south as
Almost all the way to Venezuela.
yeah.
Wow.
On
Right.
someone else's boat.
Right. We've done a lot of cruising down there, so we call it Saint Somewhere. I want to go back to Anegada to get lobster.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to go back to just above Trinidad because they have excellent
Oh
curry.
my gosh.
Right. I want
And
to
all
go
that
back to the
water's
Grenadines.
beautiful.
You and I have talked about the Grenadines.
Oh man.
The Grenadines are just spectacular. It's just, and this kind of, we enjoyed all of our sailboat trips down there. But the boats are kind of barren. It's a charter boat, right? This is a home.
Right.
It's totally comfortable. It's different.
It's our
You've got
RV on water.
redundancies throughout, including provisions. You've got redundancies on provisions on this.
Yeah.
Where you're not going to run out. You can take it with you.
Correct.
So we're going north. We're going to Statue of Liberty. You going much further north than that?
I don't know.
I want to go to Baltimore. So I'm a baseball nut, right? So I want to go to Baltimore to go to Camden Yards, right? I want to go to New York to A, see the Statue of Liberty, B, right? Because billion good restaurants. And whether you love or hate the Yankees, you got to go to the Bronx. Right? You got to go to the Bronx, right? Because what the heck? So I want to do that. Early on in Anna's career, she was based in New York. So we went to Shea Stadium a lot.
A lot.
Um,
I mean, we and we're smart people, but we can't. I was gonna say, think about all the places this boat, and then definitely the next boat will take us. So, yeah, I mean,
it's just fun. Just buy the damn thing and go use it. That's the ticket, right?
We've been
you got to go use it, and it's amazing. Just the experiences, right?
And I know, we've done rendezvous and we've met many Marlow owners. And like I said, like the people that purchased the boat too, our other boat, they're just like, you guys can't get past your Sarasota.
They bought our boat, our last 53. They bought that boat and they couldn't get out of Florida quick enough. Next thing you know, I have pictures from friends of mine of that boat in Maine.
Correct.
And then months later, I have pictures of that same boat in the Bahamas, right? Because just of all the people we've met over the years.
Right.
And good on them, and maybe shame on us because we stay in our own lane. But dude, I like my lane, right? And it's a lot of fun. But I will tell you this, that
our lane is going to widen. We're going to get on the highway soon. We're just not sure when.
Well, but the highway has expanded dramatically when we bought our Marlow.
It has.
Because of the capabilities of the vessel. Not that the other boat wasn't capable. Not at all.
It was capable, just not as comfortable.
It wasn't as comfortable, and it didn't have what I wanted. I don't want to go buy water. I don't want to go buy ice. I don't want to have to go to the laundromat. Eric, I never went to a laundromat in my life. Even as a teenager, when I moved out of the house, I had a washer and dryer at my house.
Right.
I'm not about to go to a laundromat now and do my boat clothes. So
right. Totally understand. So what's been easier for you than what expected? Because I haven't seen you cry yet, and we've gone from 49 to 53 on a 58. I mean, you've moved up significantly with us in the last 10 years. Not a tear shed. So why is that?
Well, Jeff's capability at the helm, obviously, or not obviously. Jeff's capability at the helm, and the yacht controller. And just not that the other boats weren't comfortable. There's just a comfort to this. The biggest thing Jeff said when he was first looking at the 49, the side deck, if I'm not going to learn how to drive, then I need to be able to do the stuff that Jeff's not gonna. So going forward, I usually don't go forward when there's bad weather, but to go forward, especially after we leave the dock, I just make sure that I go around the boat. And I'm comfortable. How high the
side decks are.
Thank you. How high, and then the stanchions and just the feel of the boat.
And let me interrupt. It goes without saying, there's handholds everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right. It's very well thought out because I never worry about Anna going forward or doing her duties when we come and go. And on the other boats, I did worry. Because it was a pointy bow, right? And she had 10 inches to walk around.
Yeah. So there's a comfort to that. There's just a feel of just...
security.
Yeah. And just, security and just...
Safety.
Good workmanship. She's a big boat, but she handles well. And she's, like I said, she's comfortable.
Some people have described it to me as a little ship, where you feel safe on it and you feel like it's going to get you out and it's going to get you home, and it is home while you're out there doing those things. So
we were with friends who boated for years. We met them years and years and years ago. And so I kept saying, our boat, our boat, our boat. And Margie looked to me, she's like, you have a yacht. I'm like, okay, my boat. No, you have a yacht. And we do.
You have to
we've known those people for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
And we've been boating with them collectively together for 35. I met Mike because he was the fleet captain of the Mum 30 when we were in Chicago. He was the fleet captain. So Mike was my competitor.
And then became friends.
Then became my friend. Then we did a lot of boating together. And we did a lot of racing together.
We continued to stay in touch.
And Mike and Margie were boating with us 2 weeks ago.
Yep. So it's like, as she said, you have a yacht. Yes, I do. I just don't think of it that way. But yes, I do. We do.
Sometimes you probably have to pinch yourself, because I know you guys have had a wonderful journey from where you started to where you're at today. And this is stunning, so it must be sometimes surreal to wake up and get that photo and then be like, that's mine.
Well, and I will tell you,
I agree.
We're the prettiest girl in the marina every doggone time. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of pretty boats out there. there's a lot of nice boat builders. I'm not ever not going to acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
But when we pull into a marina in any town, USA, or in St. Somewhere, we're getting the looks. There is no doubt about it. And even when we're out anchored or on a mooring or someone come by in the dinghy taking pictures. What is that? What kind of boat is that? And it's cool.
Very cool. Yeah,
it's a proud moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
What advice would you give somebody who is wanting to follow in your footsteps, but maybe wanting to learn from this conversation and
buy Apple and never sell it? Okay, buy Apple and never sell it.
Get a yacht controller and figure it out.
Well, where I was going was, it's expensive to have. If I counted it right, you guys had 8 boats, 9 boats, something like that. I'm sure you left some off the table. It's expensive sometimes to get into the wrong boat and then have to sell the wrong boat to try to buy the right boat. And if you made that mistake again, then it's really expensive because now you bought the wrong boat again and you got to sell it. And not all boats have been blessed with some of the appreciation that we've had in the past few years, or resale value statistics that we've had since we started in the early 2000s. So if you could give somebody advice that had the means to buy a $2 million or $3 million boat, okay, because let's just say that that's, kind of where we start with our 53s to 58s,
Sure.
What would you tell them? So they're looking at 3 to 5 other competitors. Why should they knock on Marlow's front door? Why should they call Jeff? Why should they call Eric? Why should they come see us at a boat show? Or why should they come see us at Marlow Marine, in Sneed Island?
The first question is easy. I would tell that same gentleman or person or consumer, Mr. Consumer, please tell me why that other boat's worth $1 million more than this, or maybe more, because I've been down that path and we've looked at that, and not naming names, but there's some of our competitors, boat for boat, pound for pound, that's $1 million more. Oh, and by the way, you can't stand up in the engine room. So
some of them, right, don't have full stand-up air conditioning engine rooms.
Put a king-size bed in the master.
I'm not sleeping in the bow.
Some of them have a VIP or master in the bow. Okay. What about range and speed? What about looks? We talked about that. Seagoing ability.
When we were first looking, we know Jeff and I would go to boat shows every year. And when we were looking at boats to spend more days on, I remember a few people, there was never, or not never, there weren't many companies that allowed us for the master to have a king. And I remember one company saying, well, there's 2 queens, you can sleep apart. You're only on the boat for 3 or 4 days. And I'm thinking, what? So I know that was a big thing for us, was comfort in the master. The other thing too was just the look. A lot of boats were glossy and shiny, and this is comfortable and gorgeous. And
I was, at my age, I was not going to buy a black beret and start smoking cigarettes anytime soon. Excuse me, but that's my alarm
for the water.
I'm making good water. Is what that is.
Okay.
I'm making good water.
Do we need to go push a button?
So that's my alarm, just to turn it off. Is what that is. Sorry about that.
That or the engine room blowers, which we've been known to leave on for a while.
I did turn those off.
Did you? Okay, seem good.
Yes. All right. Well, it seems like you're happy owners. The record out there is 6 Marlows from one client. You guys are
really?
6.
Shoot.
6 is the record.
You guys gonna have to get them kudos.
You
and
guys
be 6.
You guys are at 4.
I can't do that.
Well, we've said that every single time.
No, I haven't. Although we love our boat.
Anna says she's changing the name of the boat.
What's it going to be?
Fourth and final.
Fourth and final. Whatever you guys want. Again, I'm here to help you find what you want.
I've had too much clothing.
It's kind of like, so we've been Kansas City Chiefs fans forever, right?
Well,
I met Anna in Kansas, and I said, I just simply, and this is way before the Super Bowl and all that jazz, right?
And Patrick Mahomes.
We've been Chiefs fans since I met Anna 30 years ago.
86.
I said, I just can't afford to be another football fan. I have way too much Chief clothing. If I gotta
Change the name.
if I gotta start buying a new wardrobe, I can't afford that. So,
Or afford to change our sport. We've just always been boaters. I was talking to a friend of mine. She was talking about traveling, and our travel or our vacation is boating, and so
let me close that loop on that question though, Eric, because it's a good question, and I will tell you, there is no way in the world that we would be ordering our fourth Marlow and building our fourth Marlow if on the 49, the 53, and the 58, we didn't get out of it. Everything depreciates, and except our boats. I mean, I'm not being facetious. Thank you. I
can't spell it, but I can repeat it once in a while.
I'm not being that, right? I'm not being that. And we bought our boats. We used our boats. I take care of our boats. Mm-hmm. And we exited every boat just fine. That enabled us, because there's no way in the world that I said, let's build another one. If every time we did this, I'm like, my God, what kind of haircut are we going to take care of? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a testament to the brand.
I agree.
The
way
brokers they're built, the people that want the product, because it's a hand-built boat. There is no stock. And now I say this from being in the family and also being that broker side of things and understanding this and assisting my clients. Anybody can just go buy a Camry mm-hmm. or that other brand. We're going to build these boats for these people. And
to your specification.
Right.
Which isn't easy.
Right. And
we've done a lot of customization over the years for your boats. Have you ever run into anything where you wish you could have done stuff and we said no? I mean, I think we've really done a lot of your requests. I really can't think of things that you wanted to do that we couldn't do.
You're only saying this as we just finalized the IS on.
We did everything you wanted.
No, you know what?
I can't. I really can't.
Mm-mm.
Because if you would have said no too many times, we wouldn't have kept going.
Right.
And not that any of our previous boats were not good boats or fun boats, but spending time on this, it's the progression and learning just the little nuancy things that we wanted, that I thought, at least for us, it was a better, oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. And I like it because the way we're boating, because what we're doing and how much time I want to spend on my boat. I'm happy and I'm proud to say that we spent, God, almost 300 hours a year. Mm-hmm. Right? We're using the damn thing. Right. That's what it's for.
Right.
Go use it and build memories.
So if we were going to give some advice to people, let's help them out with some tips and tricks that you've learned. Because you've had a couple Marlows now. You've gone boating, down island. You've gone north, okay? We talked earlier about a yacht controller, okay? A wireless device to help with the captain's mobility away from the helm station without leaving the helm station. He can take the helm station with him, right? We did a video earlier today where you were able to run the anchor from the yacht controller, back the boat up, spin it around with thrusters and whatnots. We had a video with you both in headsets, wireless headsets, so you're not yelling at each other, okay?
You're great. There's no yelling on our boat.
The combination of a wireless headset and a yacht controller we call a marriage saver, right? There's no yelling, no screaming, no hard feelings, right? Nope. We're whispering, we're being nice, there's communication, everyone understands. I heard you call lines a little bit different, than what I've normally heard before, but tell us some tips and tricks that, hey, here's an easy button for you if you're worried about it, that you think maybe somebody might not know because you learned it in the last 10 years.
Rig all four corners.
Okay.
What I mean by that, when we're coming and going,
mm-hmm.
This isn't my center console back there, mm-hmm. right? This is a big, heavy boat. This boat weighs 75,000 pounds. Well, it weighs 70,000 when I put my steak and vodka on it. It weighs 90,000 pounds.
Vodka and steak.
So it's a heavy boat.
Uh-huh.
So every day, every time, no matter when we go, we rig all four corners. And what I mean by that is 2 bow lines, 2 stern lines. Because if we make an approach or I don't like the approach and I want to spin around.
Or the
Just do
marina
it.
changes the approach
Right.
and spins us around.
Or the marina gives me a slip assignment that may not be suitable for this boat. We have our headsets on. We got our yacht controller. I said, Anna, we're not going to do that because we're set up for starboard side 2. Anna, not doing that. Port side 2. We're ready to go.
No hassle. It's already there. You just drop that one and walk across and pick up the other one.
Correct.
Yeah, great advice.
Clean it up
Correct.
later.
Great advice.
We talked about this before, unplugging, right? Just turn your darn phone off. Don't be distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Whenever we come and go, turn the mute. Now we like to win the parties. Don't get me wrong. Right. But
When you're navigating, you're talking about.
Correct.
coming and going,
Mm-hmm.
right? We always have 2 people at the helm, right? Or if it's just us, meaning if you're sitting in the co-captain's chairs, you're not messing around, you're not texting, you're not playing whatever that game is that you play on your phone, right? Let's be an active participant.
Mm-hmm.
So
Look for crab pots, look for
Yep,
kayakers,
anything.
whatever.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
Because that, for us, that's part of the fun. Let's go boating. Let's enhance our skills. Let's go have, right? What I say this all the time, safe boating is no accident, mister.
No.
Wah, right? So let's go do it, because that also builds the confidence. It builds the ability to do things, which continues coming from our 31 to a 58. This boat is almost 70 feet long LOA.
Mm-hmm.
She's a big
Okay.
boat.
And it's just the 2 of us that do this, because comfort, quality product, yacht controller, headsets, twin keels, big wheels, big, props that this boat handles very well.
She maneuvers. I saw a boat cut you off earlier today. I think he was just staring in beauty, zipped on off in front of you, and you were able to pull in reverse, do a nice little maneuver, and zip right around.
Yeah. Just pay attention, have fun. So that, and know your surroundings, right? Know your surroundings with what's happening, which way the wind's blowing, right? And what's happening out there. Pay attention to that. Good communication. It's the same thing on our smaller boat. It's the same thing on our other boats that are progression. It's the same thing on the sailboat. But you know what? I bet you a nickel that when one of your kids gets a car and their first car is a Nissan Sentra or a Corolla, right? Within a couple of years, your son's driving. What size is that truck you have, for crying out loud, right?
It's an F-250.
Right. But that's a big damn truck.
I had a woman say that to me at Starbucks about 6 months ago. Why does anybody need a vehicle that big? And I'm like, I own boats. I got to tow something.
But you start out in a Corolla, or in our age, you had a Chevy Sprint.
I had a Chevy
Right.
Sprint, and I was proud to have
I had a
it.
Chevy Vega. Right now, I'm really dating myself.
I had a Pontiac Starfire and a Suzuki Samurai. Those are my first 2 cars.
People
Both
ask-
under $1,000,
I
mind
can't
you.
remember in the diner where he's like, "You guys are killing me right here."
People ask me this all the time about driving on St. Thomas. You drive on the left.
Mm-hmm.
It's just driving, man. Stay in your own lane.
Yeah, follow.
It's the same thing here. This is a bigger boat. Port to port, starboard to starboard, right?
Is there any noticeable difference for you from being a mate or a captain on a 53 versus a 58?
Yeah, the space. I don't know if I felt the heaviness or the weight of the boat, but the space. You walk in and you go, "Oh wow," that's the reason we've gone 49, 53, 58.
How about
But
from the operator side?
The operational
is it
side.
more challenging to you on a 58 versus the 53?
yeah, I mean, yes. At first, it's unfamiliar, and you just go, "Oh, I can't do this,"
Mhm.
and then you're familiar with it, and you go, "Okay."
How long did it take you to go okay?
2 or 3 trips.
Okay.
We just again, comfort.
Anna's not giving herself enough credit. It is totally second nature to her now, right?
Yeah, I saw her zipping around here,
It is-
hanging off
it-
the side with her feet
it-
up over her
it is
head.
totally
I
sec-
got this, throwing lassos on things.
All right,
It
if
is-
years
it
left,
is-
come get me.
It is totally second nature, and I'll answer it a different way now that being part of the team and help move some boats around. Anna's been on much bigger boats with us too, in the 62, 66, 70 foot range, and has been a more than capable dockhand because we're just boating, right? Bow and stern line.
9 years ago, you and I were running a 66 over the Rendezvous. Yeah.
And
she was big then too.
I remind Anna way back when from being a flight crew, right? When she would fly the Super 80. Hey, that's a little airplane.
It's a little airplane.
And now she's on 777, right?
It's a big airplane.
Flying to Europe. It's still a silver aluminum tube, right? And there's just a lot more flight crew on it. But so it's the same thing if we were get on that 66 or get on the 70, right? Because these boats handle like a dream.
They do. And, we looked at the 62 before we did the fourth 50 or before the 58 that's coming. But for Jeff and I, it was just plenty of space, plenty of room. With this one, correct, we've just become comfortable. Not in a boring way, but just we can handle her.
And you're going from a semi-enclosed to a command bridge, fully enclosed command bridge. What's the big reason for that?
Anna's at this age where she's always hot. And I'm not sure what that is, but she's at this age.
Really. When we go north in the winter,
you want to be cooler up there. I get it.
Well, and the beautiful semi-enclosed windows, in my opinion, have taken the air out, which is fine. But
here's the deal: we're all getting older, right?
Yeah.
So Anna's hot all the time. And the older I get, I have to go to the bathroom all the time, right? So she gets air conditioning, I get a day head. Right?
Well, we were up there today. You didn't have the air conditioning on.
I was melting.
Right. Well, how have you closed it in, run the air conditioning full blast up there and cool it off? Because I have clients older than you that love that configuration. Go cruise around in Florida all the time. It takes the humidity out, gets it down into the mid 70s. Then they love it. But it's good to hear that you're so confident in the brand that you're going to get the most of your money back out of this, maybe even break even or make a profit.
We'll be happy to break even.
And get into something that suits you better today, which is a day head upstairs. You don't have to run down stairs and
I call it Jeff's day head, but you know what? 2 levels when you got to go. So it's a day head for all.
Right.
But it's just the progression.
And I'm doing a new galley configuration.
We are.
Right? I'm just...
the Island Man.
That's right.
The Island Man. So we'll see how... It's going to be gorgeous.
Right.
But again, as you guys have helped us, design and create the others, we're just... taking advantage.
We're looking forward to it.
The beautiful boat and the beautiful design and the workmanship and then the comfort and the day head and the air conditioning.
Well, it's been a great day aboard in
been.
lieu of number 3. I look forward to some great days aboard in lieu of number 4 and 5 and 6 and 7.
No, I'm not doing 6. We were in the winter chicken dinners at 4.
So
I'm so bummed that we're 6th and we're not even trying.
You're in the top 5. You guys are getting up there for sure.
Well, let me put it in perspective. I asked Anna this.
Are we the top
day,
3?
Right.
You're up there for sure.
We got a long way to go because Anna is starting her 35th year as flight crew with American. Her 35th year. And her seniority number just moved up last week by 66 digits.
Wow.
Okay.
I pray they retired and not other.
Out of system wide, she's at 21% of the top tier.
Okay.
After 35 years, right? So that means that she's got a long way to go still till she's like, 20% tile.
Right.
So
I'm not doing 6. I'm just telling you, Eric, I'm not doing 6.
Okay.
Jeff, I'm not doing 6.
All right. Well, we just need to shoot for 5, okay? Talk about you.
We'll shoot for 5, and I tell her she only has 15 years more to work, right?
Well, that's awesome. Where's your next trip? You guys know where you're going yet?
Marathon.
Oh, yeah, marathon.
Yeah.
Just because.
We're going to Marathon in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I hope you have a great trip. You talked about cost, and I do want to ask one question. How fast do you usually run? Because it's cheaper to run slow than it is to run wide open throttle. So where have you found your blend in that?
We're slowpoke Sallies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's comfortable.
we don't mind 7-8 knots.
No, I wouldn't say 7-8. It's 8 to 10. The two things that I will tell you, there's just something in it when the water is as flat as this table. It's kind of fun to get up and boogie, right? Because, oh my God, look at this. Look how flat it is. But you and I were talking about this, I think, a couple weeks ago. When you're going 8 or 9 or 10 knots, it's cool, man, to see the turtles and see the dolphin and see things. You don't see those at 25 knots.
That is true.
You see things, right?
You experience nature.
Yeah.
It's funny. I save my fuel when it's rough out. The reason why I do that is I get out of the roughness quicker. I get to port quicker. And I find the boat's more comfortable putting more water over the stabilizer fins, the hull design.
I would agree.
So it's more stable. So David likes to give us just enough fuel to make it home, right? I bank that fuel running a little bit slower so that I've got an hour or two extra when I need it to run fast. That's how
we just did that a couple weeks ago. We went out for a week, and I don't know, third day started out nice, and by midday or 3/4 day, it got a little sloppy and lumpy out. I just kicked it up.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't terrible at all.
Just wasn't comfortable.
Wind direction changed and the seas changed. Mm-hmm. So I just kicked it up to 17 knots. It was still super comfortable. And we still got to where we were going, but it was just comfortable.
Would you have bought the boat if it only did 12 knots?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, no, I know we wouldn't, because we looked at those other brands that they didn't go 12 knots if you dropped them off a building, right? They were 8, 9, 10 knots. And we looked at those other brands and I said, no, this boat can go 25 knots. I want the ability to get up and go if I have to.
For multiple reasons.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we shopped around. We looked at those brands. It's still a quality product. It's, at the end of the day, our competitors are quality products too, right? I'm drinking Pellegrino. You want a Perrier? It's still fuzzy water, right? But it's a good product. And so we narrowed it down. We did a lot of homework, and all I can say is we're on our fourth one. So we would not, and Ben, I like you and everything, Eric, but come on, man. We're on our fourth Marlow. We're not on our fourth Eric, right?
We're on our fourth Marlow.
With Eric.
I love you guys too. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Well, thank you. Thank you for hosting us aboard your boat. Those of you who are watching, I'll be the first to tell you that this boat's going to be for sale soon. It's not going to be available for co-brokerage, and it's not going to be out there advertised. If you want one, come call us, 1-800-362-2657. Come visit us at Marlow Marine. We have the inside track to the best boats that are going to be available. We are the experts. We know everything about them. If we don't have the answer, our factory can tell us what the answer is. We have connections to everybody in the know if we don't know. So if you're sincerely interested in a beautiful boat like this Marlow Explorer, come check us out. It'll be worth your time.
Yeah, Eric, thank you for your time. Off camera, our cameraman and sound engineer, Eric, thank you very much.
Yes,
we appreciate that.
And to the right-hand gal that does
those
it
guys
all.
don't get enough work behind the scenes. Big T back there,
Right.
We want to do a shout out to everybody that helped us out. We had a lot of fun today.
Did. Thank you for coming and spending the day with us.
You guys are welcome anytime on it in lieu of.
Well, thank you. I look forward to doing this 5 or 6 more times with you guys.
Deal. Not on different dogs.
We got her, Jeff. We got her.
No, 5 or 6 more times on 58.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us at Everything Yachting. I hope you've enjoyed diving into the yachting world today. If you've enjoyed or learned something, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more. Until next time, my friends, healthy families, happy memories, and may fair winds and smooth seas guide your future yachting adventures.